Good afternoon, everybody. Today we will be discussing in short about the causes of leg pain and leg ulcer and their management. Broadly, there are four causes of the leg pain, that is vascular causes, neurospinal causes, neuropathic causes, and musculoskeletal or ortho-related causes. In vascular causes, there can be peripheral vascular disease or peripheral arterial disease. There can be venous disease in the form of varicose vein and deep vein thrombosis. In neurospinal causes, there can be spinal stenosis or disc disease in the form of disc prolapse or disc herniation. Neuropathic causes can be most commonly seen in diabetes mellitus, and orthopedic causes are the arthritis and injury related. Out of all the causes, we will be discussing in detail about the vascular causes and their management. Risk factors associated with the peripheral vascular disease, or also called as peripheral arterial disease, are old age, obesity, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, family history, and most important is the diabetes mellitus and chronic smoking. Various causes of the risk factors of the venous disease can be advanced age or obesity, family history, long-standing occupation or long-standing job, smoking, trauma, and previous history of deep vein thrombosis. There can be two types of leg ulcers: venous leg ulcer or arterial leg ulcers. Venous leg ulcers are typically seen around the inner aspect or middle aspect of the foot, and they are associated with the bulging or prominent veins apart from blackening or pigmentation of the skin, while the arterial leg ulcer is associated with the severe leg pain, and there can be blackening or gangrenous changes in the foot or toes. These are some ugly looking images with which patient presented to us for their leg pain. Most of these patients presented in advanced stage, so they might needed to undergo amputation apart from the treatment we offer, that is angiography, angioplasty and stenting. Now we will be discussing in short about the angioplasty and stenting. All of us must have heard about the cardiac angiography, cardiac angioplasty and stenting. Similarly, there is angiography of the leg, angioplasty and stenting of the leg vessels. But the sad part is that often we take heart as very serious or vital structure, and legs are often neglected. This is the reason why most of the patients present late to us when they have gangrenous changes, when their part of their leg or toes has to be removed or amputated. And so I feel that this topic must be talked upon. Patients or people should present early so that early diagnosis and treatment can prevent the further complication or disease. Most of these patients are old age chronic smoker patients who have diabetes mellitus or hypertension, and they are obese patients. These patients present with the leg pain or claudication. What is claudication? Claudication is a term used for the leg pain that is associated when the patient walk for some distance, then he has to stop, and again he has to walk for some distance, then again he stops. So this walk stop cycle. This is typically seen in peripheral arterial disease or peripheral vascular disease, because the vessels in these patients are narrowed or blocked or completely obstructed. So there is very reduced or no blood flow distally into the foot, that causes the leg pain and associated complications. When do we intervene in these patients? Not all these patients having leg pain or claudication need to be operated, undergo angioplasty and stenting. If this patient present early to us, so only medical error management can be enough for patients to get rid of his complaints. Symptoms which are not improved even after lifestyle changes and modification of their smoking and other habits. I feel these patients should be first counseled in detail that even if they need or they undergo angioplasty and stenting, they will have to stop their smoking completely. They will have to stop tobacco in any form completely, because even if we do angioplasty and stenting, if they continue smoking or tobacco chewing, the vessel might get blocked again. So uh, those patients who have gangrenous wound, rest pain, or their lifestyle limiting claudication or pain that they are not able to walk, they has to undergo some form of treatment. Now, treatment options can be lifestyle changes I just told, that is the exercise or regular walking, smoking cessation, and diet low in cholesterol. Medications can be antiplatelet medication in the form of ecosprin or clopidogrel A, that is containing clopidogrel and aspirin both. Apart from that, what we offer is endovascular therapy in the form of angioplasty and stenting. These patients don't need to undergo any suture, any surgery. Just angioplasty and stenting can help them to prevent their further progression. Yes, those patients who have a very long vessel obstruction or gangrenous changes, they has to go get operated. For the long vessel disease, cardiovascular surgeon do bypass. The way surgeon do heart bypass, similarly, there is a bypass available for the leg vessels also. This is one case where we can see that this is a one vessel which is showing blood flow, but the main vessel supplying the leg below is completely blocked. You can see in this vessel, in this image, that the vessel is just crossed with our guide wire, for which we do angioplasty, and post angioplasty I will show in this pic. This is the best image. We can see that the image, the vessel here is completely blocked. Post angioplasty, that vessel is opened, and so patients claudication, rest pain, or pain in leg is relieved from relieved. Here we can see that this is a patient presented with gangrenous two toes of the foot. Gangrene has to undergo amputation. Post amputation, the wound is completely healed because post angioplasty and if stenting is needed, post angioplasty and stenting, the blood flow is restored. So the patient is completely free of symptoms of rest pain as well. Patient who was not able to walk more than 100 meters before, he can walk continuously 2 to 3 kilometers because vessel is open, now blood flow is continuously flowing down, so patient don't have to stop. So that walk stop cycle is stopped. This is another patient in whom there was gangrenous changes. Patient already underwent amputation of one toe previously, but the vessel was not open. So patient again got changes of gangrenous changes. Now this time angiography was done, angioplasty was done. Here we can see that this balloon is inflated in the leg vessel. The vessel which was completely blocked here, shown with the yellow arrow, this is open post angioplasty, and because of angioplasty vessel is open, blood flow is going down, so wound is healed. The blackened or gangrenous part has to go away. This is another patient, one of my favorite case, where we can see that the blood flow distal is completely obscured or stopped. Now post angioplasty and stenting, blood flow is restored. Here we can see patient has a small wound, he presented early, so that wound is completely healed. So we can see that all patients with gangrenous changes need not undergo amputation if they present early in their symptoms. They can be they can get completely normal or cured. Apart from that, diabetic patient must pay attention to their foot care. There are lots of presentation videos available on YouTube as well as on Google regarding foot care. In short, I will be telling about that. Patients should wear their properly fitting footwears. That should not be too tight or that should not be too loose. They should inspect their foot regularly, skin in between the toes of the foot, and also the sole of their foot if there is any blackening, any discharge, any wound, because a lot of these patients don't feel the pain of the wound they might have because of the diabetic neuropathy. In short, about the deep vein thrombosis, if you ever see a patient with severe leg pain, swollen and red leg, you should immediately consult your doctor because patient might be suffering from the deep vein thrombosis. For such patients, thromboaspiration or thrombectomy we say available, and blood flow can be completely restored if they present in very early stage. In later stage, patient might present to us with complication or breathlessness because the thrombus or in the layman's word they're called as guthrie, that might go from leg to heart, lungs, and that causes severe breathlessness, and patient may land up in complication or even death. Uh, Varicose vein, one of the most common but most neglected problem. So patient just have pain initially or fatigue initially, but they just keep on bearing that causes swelling, pigmentation, prominent of the veins. Also there can be venous ulcer or venous wound. The venous ulcer, venous wound doesn't heal on its own unless the underlying varicose vein is treated with the help of advanced technology or universally accepted technology, that is laser therapy. Patients with varicose vein typically present with the clinical complaints of heaviness in the limbs, swelling, throbbing pain, night pain, fatigue. There can be pigmentation or blackening and non-healing venous ulcers. Some of these patients present different physicians, different surgeons with the complaint of their leg ulcer. The leg ulcer doesn't heal with any antibiotic because that ulcer or wound is not infected wound, because that is a stasis wound, because in varicose vein there is impure or deoxygenated blood is stored. That blood is not letting oxygenated good blood flow in the veins, that causes them venous ulcers. Apart from that, different images with which present with varicose vein can present, that there can be edema, there can be blackening or pigmentation, there can be stasis, dermatitis. Patients with blackening or itching might present to dermatologist or skin specialist, but such patients should also undergo the varicose vein diagnosis by doing their color doctor of the foot or legs. Apart from that, there can be prominent of the veins and non-healing venous ulcer on the middle aspect or inner aspect of the foot. Varicose vein patients might benefit from simple two things, that they should elevate their foot. Apart from that, they should wear tight stocking after consultation with doctors, because wearing stockings grade 1, grade 2 or which type, full length, half length, doctor can guide you better. In short about the treatment of varicose vein, that is laser therapy. Laser therapy is also called as laser surgery, but though it is, the word surgery is there, there is no cut or suture or there is no need of general anesthesia. The sonography guidance, a small needle that normally we put an IV line, in the same way the small needle is put in your leg vein, that is swollen or tortuous vein, and through that needle with the help of IV access, the laser fiber is advanced and the diseased or varicose vein is treated. The advantages of the varicose vein laser therapy, are also called as endovenous laser therapy, are: this is scarless, sutureless technique. Daycare procedure, patient can walk in and walk out of the hospital same day itself. Yes, same day. The procedure lasts hardly 2 to 3 hours from start to end, and there is no need of general anesthesia or even spinal anesthesia in most of the cases. Most important, patient can resume to his work very next day. A lot of these patients ask us, sir, what all precautions I have to take post laser therapy, post operative. Patient just have to wear the stockings, nothing else. Patient can resume on his work, duties, household work, everything from very next day itself. Patient has to avoid hot bath and he has to avoid severe exercise or running for around 15 days, 7 to 15 days. These are the few images where the first image in each set of images is varicose vein image and second image is post radiotherapy image. Uh, Here we can see these are bulging, dilated, tortuous veins in the legs and pigmentation that completely goes away post laser therapy. This is one of my favorite case. This patient was really tired of visiting doctors, getting multiple different form of dressings and antibiotic. He has received lots of antibiotic after hospitalization, but wound was not healing. So someone suggested or guided him to us. We did sonography, varicose vein was diagnosed. So patient was ready because he already suffered a lot for that. Post laser therapy, within 1 month, the wound is completely healed. His pigmentation swelling was going away slowly, slowly. At 3 months follow-up, patient's limb was completely like normal before. So just some important take-home message from this presentation is that regular walk and exercise, tobacco smoking-free life is key to healthy life as well as healthy legs. Early consultation to your doctors for your leg pain is very important than keeping ignoring it, because ignoring the leg problem, leg ulcer or leg diabetic foot pain might complicate things too and lead we might need to undergo amputation. Thank you. Have a good day.